So what we're going to talk about next is these. These are your toilets, your chamber pots. Unfortunately, you didn't have a nice flushing loo here at this point in time. So this one here is for men to use, and we also have a ladies one as well. Now, what we do know, there is actually written etiquette on how you should behave when someone is using the pot. So that means it was fairly open. You couldn't be too shy about what you were seeing at all. Now, when you woke up and it was a full pot, you weren't just going to toss it out of the window. In some towns, it was actually against the law to do so. They realised it actually was quite unhealthy to have human waste all over the streets. So what you would try and do is sell some of the urine, the wee, to places such as tanneries who make leather, or even dye works as well. The ammonia in the wee helps bind the dye to the cloth. There's even an old folk remedy of urine mouthwash, supposed to make your teeth nice and white and sparkle, but I'm not going to try that out for you. Now, if you did have to use the toilet for a poo, you would actually go outside and use an outhouse just at the bottom of the garden. Now, you would hire someone called a gong farmer to come in the middle of the night to empty out the pit. And they would dig it out. The poor apprentice would have to jump in to the pit at the bottom to get everything else out. They would then cart it off to the countryside, and that would fertilise the fields. Now, the gong farmer had a horrible job. It was incredibly smelly. You had to work in the middle of the night, but you did get paid fairly well. You were paid by the family to empty out the pit, and then the farmer paid you to actually give you all that fertiliser. So it wasn't too bad. Now, we also have the phrase such as gardy loo, to warn people as they were going along the pavements to watch out to see what was coming over your head. But that didn't actually come into place until 1622, and that was more in Scotland than it was down here in England. So using the toilets, well, it's definitely not as nice as we have today, especially when you didn't have a separate bedroom in the house whatsoever.